Last week, I showed you what $20 could buy in every decade since 1950, and you went absolutely insane in the comments. Over 3,000 of you shared your grandparents' stories, and the most common response was, "Now I understand why my grandfather treated $20 like it was $200. Well, buckle up, because today we're talking about $100. And if you thought the $20 numbers were shocking, what I'm about to show you will make you question everything you thought you knew about American prosperity. I'm American Economic Nostalgia, and I've spent another week diving even deeper into historical price data. What I found wasn't just shocking, it was economically devastating. $100 in 1950 had the purchasing power of $1,200 today. But it gets worse. Much, much worse. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly when $100 stopped being serious money and became what we'd call dinner and a movie money today. And I'll reveal the specific decade when $100 became so meaningless that people started using it as a tip. But first, let me address some of the comments from last week. Sarah from Ohio said, "My grandmother saved $100 for 3 months to buy a winter coat in 1955. Michael from Texas wrote, "My dad talks about buying his first car for $800 in 1962. Now I realize $100 was like having $1,200 in your pocket." You guys are getting it. You're starting to understand that we're not just talking about inflation. We're talking about the systematic destruction of what money could do in America. Today's research goes even deeper. I've found newspaper ads, government wage data, and housing records that will show you exactly when the American middle class could afford luxury, and when that luxury became mathematically impossible. So let's travel back to 1950, when $100 wasn't just money. It was power, possibility, and the American dream folded up in your wallet. 1950, $100 was half a month's salary. Welcome back to 1950, where $100 was literally half a month's salary for the average American worker. Let me destroy your mind with what Benjamin Franklin's face could get you. The grocery empire. A premium groceries for 3 months. That's right, $100 could feed a family of 4 for an entire quarter. 125 pounds of prime sirloin steak. Enough for a steak dinner every night for 4 months. 234 gallons of fresh milk. Nearly 8 months of milk for a family. 833 loaves of bread, over 2 years of bread. Complete Thanksgiving dinner for 15 families including turkey, sides, and dessert. But wait, there's more. With your $100 in 1950, you could also the lifestyle package. Buy a complete men's wool suit, $45, and take your wife to dinner 20 times, $55 total. Fill up your car 125 times. Gas was 27 cents per gallon. Tank held 12 gallons. Take your entire family to 144 movies. Tickets were 69 cents each. Buy 3 months of rent in many American cities. Here's what really gets me. In 1950, the average annual salary was $2,992. Our $100 represented 3.3% of an entire year's income. Today, that percentage would be worth $2,400. The housing bomb. The average house cost $7,354. Your $100 was 1.36% of a house. To put that in perspective, that same percentage today would be $5,400. You could literally save toward a house with $100 bills. 1960. $100 still bought the good life. Fast forward to 1960 JFK, the space race, and $100 still buying you a month of luxury living. What your Benjamin bought in 1960. 200 gallons of gasoline, road trip across America twice. 50 restaurant meals at $2 each. Remember when restaurants were affordable. 33 record albums. Build an entire music collection. 100 movie tickets. Take different dates to movies all year. Complete wardrobe renovation. Suit, shoes, shirts, ties, everything. But here's where it gets interesting. The average income in 1960 was $4,007. Our $100 was 2.5% of yearly income. Still serious money, but you can see the slow decline starting. The experience economy. With $100 in 1960, you could take a weekend trip to New York including hotel, meals, and Broadway show. Buy a television, black and white, but still a TV. Complete home bar setup, whiskey, glasses, everything. 6 months of dates, dinner, movie, flowers, gas money. This was still the era when $100 represented possibility. You could do something memorable, something meaningful with it. 1970. The first major crack. $100 loses its magic. Welcome to the 1970s, Vietnam War, Watergate, and the first decade when $100 started feeling smaller. What $100 bought in 1970? 138 gallons of gasoline. Still a lot, but watch this number fall. 83 movie tickets, movies getting expensive. 40 restaurant meals, eating out becoming luxury. 25 record albums, music inflation hitting hard. 2 months of groceries for a family versus 3 months in 1950. Average income in 1970, $6,186. Our $100 was 1.62% of yearly income. We're watching purchasing power erode in real time. The oil crisis effect. But then 1973 happened. Oil embargo, gas lines, everything changed overnight. By 1975, a gasoline, 57 cents per gallon, your $100 bought 175 gallons, down from 200. Movie tickets, $2.05, only 48 tickets, down from 83. A restaurant meals, $3.50, only 28 meals, down from 40. This is the decade when Americans learned a terrifying new reality. Global events could destroy your purchasing power overnight. $100 was still decent money, but it was wounded. 1980, Reagan's America. $100 becomes weekend money. The 1980s, cocaine, Wall Street, greed is good, and $100 becoming what you'd spend on a weekend night out. What $100 bought in 1980? 84 gallons of gasoline. Gas hit $1.19 per gallon. The bleeding continues. 37 movie tickets, taking the family to movies becoming expensive. 38 McDonald's meals, fast food stopped being cheap. 14 cassette tapes, music getting costly. 1 nice dinner for 2 restaurants becoming luxury experiences. Average income in 1980, $12,530. Our $100 was 0.8% of yearly income. We've crossed into weekend money territory. The credit card explosion. This is when everything changed. Why? Because $100 wasn't enough for anything significant anymore. Americans started using credit cards not for convenience, but for necessity. The luxury shift. Things that $100 bought outright in 1950 now required. A complete suit, $200 to $300. Month of groceries, $150 to $200. Major appliances, $300 to $500. Weekend getaway, $200 to $400. $100 went from, I can buy anything, to I can buy something nice, but not anything meaningful. 1990, the Clinton boom, $100 becomes shopping money. The 1990s economic expansion, the internet revolution, and $100 becoming what you'd spend on a shopping trip without thinking twice. What $100 bought in 1990? 75 gallons of gasoline, still decent for road trips. A 21 movie tickets, family movie night getting expensive. 22 fast food meals, McDonald's stopped being cheap food. 7 CDs, music industry getting greedy. Half a month of groceries for a family. Average income in 1990, $29,943. Our $100 was 0.33% of yearly income. We've officially entered shopping money territory. The mall economy. This was the decade when $100 became what teenagers asked for to go shopping at the mall. It wasn't serious money anymore. It was discretionary spending. The technology divide. Interestingly, technology was getting cheaper. Calculator. $10 versus $200 in 1970. A digital watch. $15 versus $100 in 1975. Basic computer. $800. Amazing for the capabilities. But everything else kept getting more expensive. Housing, exploding upward. Healthcare, beginning its insane climb. Education, student loan crisis starting. 2000, Dotcom era, $100 becomes dinner money. Welcome to 2000, Y2K paranoia, dot-com bubble, and $100 becoming what you'd spend on dinner without checking your bank account. What $100 bought in 2000? 64 gallons of gasoline, road trips getting expensive. 18 movie tickets, family entertainment becoming luxury. 17 fast food meals, cheap food getting expensive. 5 DVDs, home entertainment costs rising. 3 weeks of groceries for one person. Families need much more. Average household income, $42,148. Our $100 was 0.24% of yearly income. Psychological meaninglessness achieved. The credit card dependency. This is when Americans stopped carrying cash entirely. Why? Because $100 couldn't buy anything meaningful anymore. Everything significant required a credit card. The experience inflation. Concert tickets, $50 to $80 each. Sporting events, $40 to $100 per seat. Nice dinner for two, $80 to $120. Weekend hotel, $120 to $200 per night. $100 became the money you'd spend without planning, without budgeting, without caring. 2010, post-recession reality. $100 becomes a tip. The 2010s, recovering from 2008, Obama's America, and $100 becoming what you'd tip for exceptional service. What $100 bought in 2010? 35 gallons of gasoline, gas prices hurting families. 12 movie tickets, taking family to movies equals $80 to $100. 12 restaurant meals, eating out becoming special occasion. 4 months of Netflix, actually a great deal. 2 weeks of groceries for one person. Average household income, $50,221. Our $100 was 0.2% of yearly income. We've achieved true insignificance. The service economy shift. $100 became a good tip at an expensive restaurant. 1 hour of professional service, lawyer, consultant. Babysitting money for a weekend night. A gas money for 2 weeks of commuting. The psychological shift. Parents started giving kids $100 for school clothes, birthday money, fun money. It became pocket change for families with any disposable income. 2020 to 2023, post-pandemic insanity. $100 becomes laughable. And now we arrive at today, post-pandemic America, supply chain chaos, and $100 becoming almost comically powerless. What $100 bought in 2020? 38 gallons of gasoline. And then everything went crazy. 10 movie tickets, if theaters were open. 11 takeout meals, delivery fees killing budgets. Groceries for 1.5 weeks for one person. 2 hours of parking in Manhattan. But then 2021 to 2022 happened. Inflation went absolutely insane. What $100 buys today, 2023? 28 gallons of gasoline, if you're lucky. 7 movie tickets, family night costs $120 plus. 8 takeout meals, DoorDash fees are criminal. 1 week of groceries for one person maybe. Half a tank of gas for most SUVs. Average household income 2023, $70,084. Our $100 is 0.14% of yearly income. It's literally the money you lose in your couch cushions. The devastating comparison, 1950 versus 2023. Now let me show you the numbers that should make every American furious. 1950, $100 bought you 3 months of family groceries, 125 pounds of premium steak, complete men's wardrobe, 125 fill-ups of gasoline, 3 months of rent in many cities, 1.36% of a house, 3.3% of yearly income. 2023, $100 buys you 1 week of groceries for one person, 9 pounds of premium steak, 1 shirt from a decent brand, half a tank of gas, 2 hours of big city rent, 0.025% of a house, 0.14% of yearly income. To buy what $100 bought in 1950, you need $1,200 today. That's a 1,200% price increase, while wages only increased about 2,300%. The mathematical impossibility. If purchasing power had stayed constant, $100 today should buy what $1,200 buys. Or Americans should earn an average of $161,000 per year. Or houses should cost an average of $61,000. None of these are true. Which means, what happened? The $100 murder timeline. So how did we go from $100 being half a month's salary to being tip money? Here's the murder timeline. 1971, the Nixon shock. Ended gold standard. Dollar became pure fiat currency. $100 lost its anchor to reality. Purchasing power damage. Minus 15% by 1975. 1973 to 1979, the inflation decade. Oil crises, wage price spiral. $100 buying power cut in half. Purchasing power damage, minus 50% from 1970. 1980s, the credit revolution. Credit cards become universal. Artificial purchasing power through debt. A real purchasing power continues declining. 1990s to 2000s, the asset bubble era. Housing, stocks, everything inflating. $100 becomes meaningless relative to assets. Wealth gap explodes. 2008, the Great Recession. Wages stagnate, prices continue rising. $100 loses more relative value. Middle-class purchasing power destroyed. 2020 to 2022, the money printer go BRRR. Unprecedented money creation. Supply chain chaos. Final destruction of $100 purchasing power. Each of these events transferred wealth from regular Americans holding $100 bills to people holding assets. The $100 in your wallet got weaker. The $100,000 in someone's stock portfolio got stronger. The psychological devastation. But here's what really breaks my heart about this whole story. It's not just about money. It's about dreams, possibilities, and what we've lost as a society. In 1950, a teenager could save up $100 and feel rich. They could take their girlfriend on 20 dates, or save for something meaningful, or help their family with rent. Today, we give teenagers $100 like it's lunch money. It has no weight, no significance, no power to teach them about value or savings or delayed gratification. The generational trauma. Silent generation. Saved every $100 like it was gold, because it was. Boomers. Watched $100 lose meaning during their prime years. Gen X. First generation where $100 was whatever money. Millennials. $100 is barely enough for groceries. Gen Z. $100 is what you spend on a night out without thinking. We're not just talking about inflation. We're talking about the destruction of the concept that money has value. When $100 becomes meaningless, what happens to society's relationship with work, saving, and responsibility? The ripple effects. Kids don't learn money management because small amounts are worthless. People go into debt for necessities because cash can't buy anything substantial. The wealth gap explodes because only assets matter, not savings. The American dream dies because the math doesn't work anymore. So there you have it, the even more shocking truth about what $100 bought in every decade since 1950. From half a month's salary to tip money. From serious purchasing power to psychological pocket change. And if you're thinking this is just inflation, this is normal, let me stop you right there. This isn't normal. This is the result of specific policy decisions that transferred wealth from your wallet to someone else's portfolio. This is why your grandfather saves aluminum foil and your grandmother reuses plastic bags. In their world, everything had value because money had value. This is why boomers don't understand student debt. In their experience, you could work part-time and pay for college with cash. This is why millennials can't buy houses. The math that worked for previous generations simply doesn't exist anymore. But knowledge is power. Understanding this history helps you make better decisions about your financial future. Don't fight the system. Understand it and work within it. The response to last week's video was incredible. Keep sharing your family stories in the comments. Mary from California found her grandmother's 1952 budget book. $87 per month covered everything. David from Texas found his grandfather's pay stub from 1963, $78 per week was a good living. These aren't just numbers. They're proof of what we've lost and what we need to fight to get back. Next week, I'm going to show you something that will make you even angrier than this video did. I'm going to reveal the exact year that Americans lost the ability to buy houses with normal jobs. The data is so shocking that I had to double-check it 3 times. If this video made you understand something you didn't before, smash that like button. If you want to see more deep dives into American economic history, subscribe and hit the notification bell. And here's your homework. Find someone over 70 and ask them what they remember paying for things in the 1950s and 60s. Record that conversation. Because those memories are the only proof we have of what American prosperity actually looked like. The $100 bill in your wallet today is worth less than $8 compared to 1950. But your knowledge of that fact? That's priceless. See you next week, when we dive into the housing market data that will make you question everything you thought you knew about American homeownership.